How you doing, YouTube? Matt with Master Beer Reviews, back with mystery beers, baby. Gotta love those mystery beers. At least I do. This, I obviously have no idea about, and it comes courtesy of Chris. Y'all know Chris. He's the one that has been setting me up with these mystery beers as of late. So thank you very much, brother. The premise, people take beers, they wrap them up, they send them to me, so I have no idea what's going on. It's not a beer I had in my fridge previously, so it's not like something I can kind of discern over time or kind of checkmark, battleship, if you will, my way into guessing. I just open it, I drink it. Here we go. Crack it open. Old tall boy canner. What do we have here? Ooh, that be looking like a hazy IPA. Let that settle out for a second, because that might generate a gigantic head on it. And then give it a little secondary pour. Stop there, man. I want a little bit more beer in there. But threw that in the glass like a dum-dum. And 2 fingers. If you got creamy top on it, nice, juicy, kind of creamy top on that sucker. Nice, tight, compact bubble. Sans a few stragglers. And yeah, sans the Dirty Glass Mafia. That, my friends, looks like a hazy IPA. Could be a couple other things, but that's what it looks like. Let's see what she smells like. Smells like an IPA too. Yeah, getting nice kind of candied across the board fruitiness, whether it be a little bit of melon, a little bit of kiwi, a little bit of citrus, maybe a touch of stone fruit. It's kind of across the board, kind of candied citrus. That smells really good, actually. Nice. What's the word I'm looking for? A nice kind of medley of fruity sweetness, combined with a little bit of kind of almost like a yeastiness in there. There's really not much bittering that I can get off the nose. Snorting. That's how you get the real hops. Yeah, I'm not getting a ton of bittering on the nose, but I can see there being a little bit in there, but it's like the literal definition of a juice bomb. It's all about the juiciness in there. Kind of tropical leaning, citrus, stone fruity, tropical leaning juice bomb that just smells pretty damn fantastic. Yeah, it smells nice, man. There is a kind of soft greenness in there, but I assume that it's going to get a bit bigger, bolder, more impactful on the taste. But yeah, nice sweetness to it. There is a generic bittering kind of bouncing off, but I think it's going to be more of the a refined, more of a descriptive kind of bitterness when I dive in there. So yeah, Juice Bomb IPA. Haze-bro stuff. Hop Valley, if you will. Let's dive in. Cheers. That's tasty, man. That's a tasty beer. Definitely. It's kind of flipped the script and gone more kind of like melon, kiwi, stone fruity than citrus in the taste. Nice soft creaminess to it. Nice body to it. Zero bitter. I mean, there's a bittering to it. You get a little bit on the tongue. A little bit kind of floating around, but it's not enough to where it really kind of registers enough. It just kind of bounces off that sweetness. So this is definitely a new school, hazy New England style IPA. They're dropping that bitterness out completely. They're giving you just straight up kind of fruit, juicy sweetness. Wrapped in a tight, tidy body. Yeah, that is the quintessential new school New England style IPA that tries to kind of skirt and drop out all bitterness whatsoever. I love me that balancing of bitterness. But sometimes I want myself a little bit of visceral goodness. I want a little bit of just, I don't want to think about it. I just want some sweetness. I want some candy, baby. And that's kind of where this one lands. So it not only is it one of those beers that tries to do that non-bittering thing, it does it really well. So yeah. It comes off as, I'm trying to sneeze here. It comes off as, I'm trying to think of the brewery it comes from. I'm trying to get that deep on it. I don't know. I could have had it before, but it doesn't taste super familiar. But it's just fun. It's delicious. It's visceral. It's tasty. it's candy. It's juice candy, but it's not that. I shouldn't say that because when I say candy, I don't mean like a candied kind of sweetness. It's more of a juicy sweetness and tasty. So yeah, it's a hazy, new school, dropped out bitterness, New England style IPA. Let's see if we can actually unwrap this, find where the tape ends and the beer begins. There we go. I think I can. Oh, look at me, baby. So what do we have here? Wrench. Okay. Yeah. I've had this before. I thought it was one of the better kind of shelfy New England style IPAs, and it kind of, lands in that direction. Oddly enough, I was actually talking to, is there a date on here? I think he stamps them on the side. It's a bit over a month old. And on the side here it says, in order to make this beer, we had to unlearn much of what we hold dear. You see, Wrench Northeast IPA makes virtually no sense. Much of the process is backwards in order to assure that it doesn't look, smell, or taste like beer of the past. It's more for today and maybe tomorrow too, if there's any left. 6.8%. I've reviewed it. It was one of my favorite shelfies of last year. I think it's really well done what it's trying to do. Yeah, I mean, that's what it is. It was funny enough that I was actually talking to somebody today in the brewing industry that owns a brewery. And they're talking about the brewer that makes this, Chief O'Neill up there at Industrial Arts, and kind of how he hates making this beer. Because it kind of says that in the side here. He's this old school brewer who likes to do what brewers do. So in order to, be a good brewer, which is basically not making what just you love, but what other people love. He's making this beer, and not only does he make it, he makes it really well. So, yeah, this is it's kind of interesting to do it in a blind review because I believe I got a little bit more perceptual bitterness of this when I did it, as my kind of open, know what's going on review. But it's also a different batch, so batches didn't change, but this is literally Merriam-Webster dictionary of what New England style IPAs have become nowadays, with that kind of drop of really no bitterness whatsoever. But it's tasty beer. I mean, right off the get, you can just taste and smell how haze broy it is, and let's give you a little bit of yeasty dryness, juice all the way. Still a fantastic beer for what it is. Like I said, is it one of the better? Let's get to that cut to the chase thing that I do every now and then, or for every review, not every now and then. Is it one of the better hazy IPAs I've had as of late? It's up there, worthy of being in the conversation. But if you kind of cut that down to, is it one of the better shelf ones? It's King Shitterfuck Mountain. Valued availability, it's usually like $14 to $16 a 4-pack, and you find it on the shelf. So that is what it is, and leave you with, if you like what we like this, if you like haze broy, hop body, non bittering kind of hoppy beers, because that's where this one lands. So if you dig that stuff, you'll dig this, because guess what, pretty good stuff. So there you go, another review in the books. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Down there, words and stuff. Massive Beers, type that into Google. Find me doing the social media stuff. Beer Massive, MASSIF. Type that into the Googs, or your favorite podcasting app to find me doing podcasting things. And yeah, another review down. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this blind review. Hopefully enjoying a nice little hazy New England style IPA right now, and hopefully see you next time. Cheers.